We've heard from the CBSA that they're seeing a shift of stolen vehicles from the East Coast now moving more to the West Coast. Is that something that your organizations are observing?
Happy to start. Yeah, what we track is insurance theft claims at IBC most closely, and I think the general trend that you've seen is a decrease in the value and volume of thefts in central Canada, so Ontario and Quebec. That's decreased, and happy to give some thought, have some discussion on why that might be. And then a bit of a whack-a-mole in the rest of Canada. So you've seen it decrease. You've seen it either even out in Western Canada, and you've seen some parts of Western Canada increase, some parts of Atlantic Canada increase, but it's not been an even experience.
There was a recent Carfax report in September that said that it claims there's 372,000 vehicles in Canada that have fraudulent or cloned vehicle identification numbers. This is deeply concerning. What are the concerns of the Insurance Bureau and your organization on these cloned VINs? What will be the impact?
And it is a growing issue. There's a bit of context. There's three typical destinations for stolen vehicles, or three things that happen. They get exported to international markets, they get fraudulently revinned and then sold to unsuspecting customers, or they get taken apart and sold in chop shops. Revinning is a growing concern. It's a growing concern across Canada. Oftentimes what happens is a consumer unaware will purchase a vehicle they think has a clean bill of sale. It does not, and then there are often consequences for that consumer. One of the things we found encouraging is provincial governments, including the Ontario government and the CCMTA, have started to clean up their VIN systems. They've started to share data more, and that's an encouraging way, or that's an encouraging development, because the more we can share data, the more we can root out the kinds of fraudulent data that we've seen in the system in the past.
What will be the impact, like we're talking about over 300,000 cloned VINs, when people discover, what happens to consumers when they discover that their vehicle is a cloned VIN that was fraudulently stolen vehicle before they purchased it? What's the impact on consumers?
There are implications, and the consumer ultimately has accountability for the car that they drive. Law enforcement will be better equipped to speak to the specific consequences, but there absolutely is an onus on the consumer to know what they're purchasing. Oftentimes, though, they're doing it with a hand tied behind their back because the information coming to them appears to be legitimate.
Are the insurance companies going to come and claim those vehicles back? Because don't they belong to the insurance companies?
I'd have to come back to you on that. No, that's not something that I've
I mean, if an insurance company has paid out a claim to somebody who had a stolen vehicle, and there's a consumer who bought that stolen vehicle, who ultimately owns that vehicle? Is it the consumer who purchased it, or is it the insurance company that paid out the claim?
It's a good question. There could be subrogation involved ultimately if it came to that point. I don't know enough about that subject. I have to come back to you on that.
Do you have any comments on that, sir? Okay. Equite Association has labeled Alberta as a feeder province. Alberta now has the highest per capita rate of vehicle theft. It's clear that organized crime is engaged in revinning. Now, I've been told by people, like some people have said, maybe we need a national vehicle registry, but I've already been told that we have an interprovincial record sharing system. It's just not being used. Can you give us some more information on that?
So there's something called the Interprovincial Record Exchange. It's managed by the CCMTA. I think you are actually seeing provincial governments step up and use the IRE more. It was one of the recommendations in the National Action Plan on Combating Auto Theft. I'm encouraged by what I've seen, which is a real focus on improving the data. The problem with a national VIN registry or an IRE is it's garbage data
order,
in, garbage data out.
Yes, MP Ramsey.
DA and things like this, please.
Okay, so let's try to hear what the CCMTA stands for, and the interpreters might also.
I'm going to be challenged to know that I actually know what it stands for, but I believe it's the Canadian Council of Motor Transport Administrators, and the IRE is the Interprovincial Record Exchange.
Thank you. There's a concern that's been raised to me that some consumers, I mean, a vehicle purchase is sometimes people's largest purchase next to their home. If people discover that their vehicles are not legally theirs, some desperate people might do fraudulent things, like say that their vehicle got stolen. Is that a concern that the Insurance Bureau has, that as products like Carfax's report that has just come out about these clone VINs come out, that we could see a rise in increased auto theft, auto fraud in relation to these stolen vehicles? And what is the Insurance Bureau recommending to combat that?
It's possible that could be a result, and you are seeing an increase in auto fraud across Canada, and I think as frankly you've seen a decrease in auto theft. The same kinds of criminals who committed are looking for other opportunities to make a buck. And so ultimately, the consumer needs to be, to undertake full due diligence. There are services available through provincial governments, no matter where you are in Canada, that allow you to verify the VIN. There are also private services, and you've referenced one of them, that allow you to do that. Our job, along with Equite Association, which is funded by the insurance industry, its mandate is to combat auto insurance crime, is to share information about what you can do to protect yourself from auto theft, from fraud. I think there's more work to do there, but we're encouraged by what we've seen certainly on the auto theft component in the last year or so.
Now, I noted that you said that there has been a decline in the number of vehicles reported stolen, but has the insurance industry seen a reduction in the financial losses from stolen vehicles? Has that gone down as well?
Marginally. We reached a 1.5 billion in auto insurance theft claims in 2023. It's gone down to something like 1.3 billion. But over at
You said that auto thefts have gone down significantly in the last 2 years. Why haven't the financial claims gone down?
The value has gone way up. Over the last 10 years, the value of auto theft claims is 400% higher. It's the
number of vehicles have gone down, but the cost of the claims has not gone down. It's gone up proportionally per vehicle.
Well, to be clear, over the last couple of years, you've seen a decrease in both the value and the volume. But over the long run, the value of auto theft claims is significantly up. It's 400% up over the last 10 years. The reality is that cars being stolen are much more expensive now than they were previously. This isn't folks stealing, cars for joyrides. This is targeting luxury SUVs and trucks because of the value they hold in the market.
Now, when luxury vehicles are stolen, does that increase the premiums of poor people's vehicles?
I apologize for interrupting you abruptly.